So hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll perform unusual flight. It's from Tatras airport and we're proceeding to Graz airport, which is currently low visibility, procedures in force. I hope you'll be still present over there in order to practice low visibility approaches on Boeing 737. So let's jump to the cockpit and make some preliminary pre-flight preparation. So put here Tatras. In order to have it prepared, we will somehow serve the airplane. So action, services, and you can put lavatory, potable water, maintenance van, and that's it. So now we can go to overhead panel, set the battery, 25% of 25 voltage is fine, that's okay. Hydraulic panel set, wipers park, gear down, 3 green we have. Okay, so for walk around we need to have the parking brake set, that's okay, and we may perform the fire test. Overheat detection was perfect, fall detect, APU fall detect as well. All the lights are on, cancelling the master caution, perfect. Checked the fluids in the bottles, that's fine, that's perfect, so we may start the APU. Okay, so regarding to our flight, this will be a charter flight with 160 passengers approximately on board. If I check it on the operational flight plan, with approximately 3.2 ton of checked baggage. So I hope everything goes okay. What is very important for low visibility operations, it's very important that in your minimum equipment list or CDL it's nothing stated about downgraded to CATI 1. Okay, so airplane is fully serviceable for this kind of operations for the time being, and yeah, we will see later on what's happened. So as you can see at Tatras airport, the weather condition is pretty fine. There is nothing absolutely special. The weather condition is approximately near the non-precision approach, or maybe higher for non-precision approach. Crew oxygen ECG tested, ERS is on, circuit breakers, gear panel closed, circuit breakers are closed, emergency equipment, and all the documentation is on board. So what we can do, I will do non-standard and perform the cabin utility in order to pressurize the water tank and waste system in the airplane for cabin crew in order to let them know. So I will a little bit deviate from standard procedures. Check the takeoff configuration warning is okay, and yeah, we may start. For example, we may ask for fueling track. Minimum block fuel was 4600. In case of you are performing low visibility procedures in force, be aware of the fact that there will be radar separation much higher than in normal conditions, so you may expect some delay, some holding patterns, or everything like this one. So in this case I will put extra 1 ton additional, so 5.6, 5.7 I put there, and we have plenty of fuel, or let's say we have fuel approximately for 30 minutes of holding. It should be enough for us. Okay, so imagine that we have potable water and lavatory waste out of. Service maintenance released. We have stamped over the journey log that everything is okay. It's working properly, so we are released to service. The daily check is valid for our airplane, and now we may start the refueling and we may start the pre-flight procedure. So right now check the APU voltage. It's perfect. Okay, window 8, perfect. Everything is fine. Cockpit voice recorder trimmer switch must be okay. We have APU on bleed for 1 minute, so we can. Sorry, we have APU on bus for 1 minute, so we may put the APU on bleed. Always it is 1 minute after you put the APU on bus, so wait for 1 minute. It extended your life of the of the bleed valve. Okay, the flight level should be 380. I guess it's too much, but well, we will see later on if we change our cruising level. Okay, so this is okay. Landing altitude is fine. It's approximately. We can go and test it 100%. Perfect. Brakes to RTO, fuel flow, reset, okay, that's perfect. Radio navigation aids, 1 to 1.5. It's okay, and 1 to 2.8. It's fine. We have fueling in progress, so we need to be connected with ground personnel. That's okay. Transponder set on standby 2000. Well, this part is fine. We can go to FMC, put Lima Zulu Tango Tango Airport, stand number 1. Okay, position is confirmed. Graz Airport as well. Can activate. We have Sky Travel 101. That's okay. Okay, we have EPEDA departure. So we'll check for the first the fresh matter conditions over at the airport, and what does it say? It's a variable 1 knot. Runway 27 should be okay for us, but I will again check the EPEDA departure. We have EPEDA like here, so it will be fine for us to use EPEDA 1 Foxtrot for departure. So departure runway 27, because there is not so much backtrack. And EPEDA 1 Foxtrot departure, this should be this one, like this way, okay? So, but I assume that will be high enough, so we'll make some shortcut from over here, because here are the mountains region, as well, but with this climb capability it shouldn't be any problem. Okay, so performance page, flight level 380, and now I will check it with my operational flight plan. Cost index is only 11. Reserve we have 2.2, and our takeoff alternate is Wien Airport 2.2, and Vienna Airport is quite high reserve, but anyway it's okay. Transition altitude for 100%, I'm sure it's 10,000 feet, and cruising altitude is cruising wind is 32018. 320/18. Now we have completed, and ISO deviation is -5, so -61 outside and temperature. That's okay. So from first officer point side of view, everything is okay. Captain made a walk around. You can see we have this beautiful SkyTrail livery. It's smartwings.com, and we are making like this way. Okay, just join the taxiway alpha and backtrack runway 27. It is a small airport, but a little bit challenging sometimes because of the high mountains, which you can't see right over here, but there are high Tatras mountains over here. Okay, so you will see it later depicted on the navigation display chart. Okay, so captain came from walk around, performed the light test. If everything is okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's fine. Captain will check the position and check the routing via LOWG page. If everything is okay, see the entries and complete it, and we have position confirmed and see the entries verified. QNH is 1006. We have engine out acceleration altitude will be approximately 3000 feet. I will not put it into the here like now, but in real life I will have to do it. But it took a long time to do it, so I will skip it, and I will remember that approximately 3000 is our acceleration altitude. Okay, so flight director switch is on. There is no altitude restriction right over here, so we can go directly to flight level 380. And now we'll see 268. And regarding to relanding, in case we have serious troubles like medical case on or like fire on board, on engine failure, we put there 269 as well for the ILS approach. Or maybe the better procedure will be to put it outbound radial from Tatri VOR, so that means 086. And now 269er. 269er, okay, oxygen tested, 100% must be here. Okay, FMC messages, warnings, light test, okay. That's okay, that's fine. Stop trim switch is okay. And now we'll put 112, or sorry, 112, decimal 1, which is Tatri VOR, and here we put Tatri ILS frequency 110 decimal 1, 110 decimal 1 on the active side of the first officer side, and 112 decimal 1 we have pre-selected. And what will be fine for our let's say the procedure engine failure, and just trying to turn before this marker. Okay, so 418, 418 and we put the NDB, for example, Tatras 317. So everything is set and we can perform the checklist. Once the checklist is completed, we can look at the fuel is completed, so cabin crew refueling is completed, that's okay, perfect. We can pre-select the external jet for the ground personnel, and right now menu services can release ask for upstairs passenger bus, and now I will check the exact numbers of the passengers. So we will have 141 passengers and 2.8 tons, so it's okay. 141 and 2.4, so 1000 in front and 1400 in the back. Okay, so now everything is set up, everything is ready, we are ready for some briefing. Once the briefing is completed, we may ask for the clearance. But sometimes on this kind of the airports, the clearance you received just when you are taxiing. Okay. Everything should be okay. So regarding to the low visibility procedures, we have discussed what we should expect at Graz airport, and in the air we will check the Graz airport charts and what will be the best for our let's say what will be the best for our approach, what will be our taxi routings, and so on and so on, and which one will use category 2 or category 3 approach. But always, if you have availability from Cat 3 and Cat 2, do not hesitate and use Cat 3 approach, okay? Cat 2 has common sense when there is something reporting that you cannot use the category 3 approach, okay? So once you have on the chart Cat 2, Cat 3, always use Cat 3 approach, okay? Because it doesn't make sense to perform category 2 approach and suddenly you see nothing and you have to perform the go around. There's no reasons if you have availability to use lower minimals, okay? Okay, so can put it like this one, I forget. Regarding to takeoff performances, I have the calculator for takeoff performance, but I will not use it. We'll briefly go through the rate. We will not use descent temperature. I will not use descent temperature limitations right now, as we are on high mountain region, and there is a probability of the wind shear. So when you have wind shear reported, for example, for a particular runway of departure, so you have to use only the D rate, not assume temperature. Okay, so that's the reason. And 24K, it's quite powerful for our departure, so I guess it will be, I'm pretty sure it will be okay. As well as the loading of the airplane. Okay, I have in top of my head how much cargo I put in front compartment and how much cargo I put in the aft compartment, because I did so many load-sheet in real life that it's basically for me, yes, okay, so this will be in forward and this will go to aft compartment. I'm pretty sure that I will not exceed the load-sheet limitations within the landing weight and within the takeoff weight envelope. So you can see we have light fog of 6000 meters, broken 500. Okay, so that's why I will be happy to use the D rate. Okay, so I think that the PEX is almost done, so we can release the stairs number 2. We have to just leave the stairs number 1 for load sheet computation, because one load sheet is going to you, one load sheet is going to your handling agent. Okay, so that's why until you didn't finish your journey tail log and load sheet with one copy for ground personnel, you cannot close the door. Okay, and so did for the passengers. It's the same procedure. Okay, once all passengers are on board, you can close the door. Okay. Okay, so here we are. It's perfect. So 62 tons, that's absolutely fine. 24K rate is fine. What is important? Enable cruise altitude. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Flaps 1, it's the possibility in case of you have long runway and you have obstacles behind the runway, or you have a mountains terrain. In this case, it's a better solution to use the lower flap settings and much higher speeds in order to have the better climb gradient. Okay, so 149er, we have it. Menu, actions, services. Now we can release it. Okay, make it before start procedure. That's okay. Put the jump seat on. That must be. Okay, so that's it. So anti-collision lights on. Engine start procedure. Perfect. Now here we go. Engine number 2. Okay, if you see the situation like this one, that's why we have checklists, and in checklist there is written then the ground equipment, and captain confirm clear on the right side, and first officer confirm ground equipment clear on the left side, right side, sorry. And the chokes must be off from this position, and only chokes on the nose wheel must be in on position. It's perfect. Shortly we are starter cut out. Yes, we have stable engine. That's perfect. Start engine number 1. Oh, I'm still sleeping, okay. This will lead to wet start, maybe. The situation, if I don't put the start lever into idle position once we have exactly 25. In real life, always keep your hand on the start lever, and once there is 55% and 2 exactly, you have to put it into idle detent position. Okay, so we have 2 good stable engines. We have flaps 1, and now we can perform the before taxi procedure. Perfect. We will check with the lower DU. Hydraulics okay. We have flaps 1. Always check with overhead panel flaps 1 green light. So we'll perform the ailerons checked, elevator checked, rudder checked, APU switch into the off position, recall, and we have performed the checklist below the line, but basically APU is off, recall is checked, blank lower display unit. We can switch to the tower frequency, and now we are good to go. So left side is clear, right side is clear. So come on guys, and we are happy to go. And remember, you are not allowed to enter the runway once the cabin is not ready. So if it is like a short taxi, like you can see right now, into the holding point, you have to wait on the holding point, or you are not allowed to start the taxi if you feel that there is too much traffic and you will disturb the traffic. You will delay your taxi, or you may if there is nobody out here, you may obey this procedure, stop on the holding point and wait for the cabin sign to be ready. But anyway, we are now ready to go, so that's okay. So line up procedure. Before takeoff procedure, flaps 1, green light, stabilizer trim. We have 5.6 units approximately set. Left side is clear. Right side is clear. So that's it, and we can perform the lineup procedure. So maybe shortly after takeoff we'll use the engine anti-ice, because the total air temperature, let's say currently when we are taxiing, is outside and temperature is 0 degrees, okay? And the visible moisture like the clouds are in front of us, and I hope that the temperature will drop because there is no fog layer. This is low level clouds. So in this case I will couple the autopilot as soon as possible, so at the 400 feet, and we'll perform it like it should be in real life operation. Okay, we can start the flight time. We can confirm the runway heading 278. It's confirmed. Engines are stable. Press toga button. Takeoff N1 toga. Takeoff thrust is set. It should be set. We have 80 knots checked. V1 rotate. We have positive rate, gear up, follow the flight directors. Okay, we have 400 feet L now, autopilot engaged, and we may start put the engine anti-ice on. And as you can see, the engine is climbing as a hell. Okay. It is incredible powerful airplane with these CFM engines. Okay, so start to accelerate. We have speed restriction points in front of us, but there's basically nothing, no problem for us. Optimum, maximum, cruise level 380 is okay, so we can climb to flight level 380 without any problems. As you can see, we have bunch of altitude and speed restriction points. In this case, yeah, we'll see how high we are. Okay, we are out of the clouds, so engine anti-ice off. We have flaps up, no light. Now it's okay, we can put it into the V now. As you can see, we have V now speed, perfect. Okay. So takeoff phase was completed and it was completely okay. And the air traffic controller in Tatry airport should be aware of the radar minimum altitude, so I will expect in real life some shortcut, because we are quite high about the profiles. You can see we should have on this waypoint 6,000 or above, and we have flight level 100 approximately. So flight level 100, altimeter set and cross check, that's fine. So after takeoff checklist is complete, and well, I'm pretty sure that we can turn to the EPEDA point. In procedural control, you are not allowed to do this, okay? Only in radar controls. So, if the Tatry is only the tower, that means that you are not allowed to make some shortcuts. You have to make a procedural outbound procedure. But if there is radar vectors or radar control, you can make it with your air traffic controller agreement direct to EPEDA, like now, as you can see, okay. And on EPEDA we have restrictions. I will delete the restriction, we don't need it anymore, because we are really high above. Okay, and as we are above the 10,000 feet, can put the lights off. Check it here with pressurization, okay, adjust the cabin temperature for the pegs. Once we are established smoothly on en route climb speed, so we are in clouds, we are out of clouds right now. Okay, so we may release the passengers. Like now, you can see, it's pretty perfect. Okay, so we may start turn to our waypoint, and okay, now we have to realize what we are going to do in Graz, okay? So, unable cruise altitude, still written there, but here we are okay. So 380, okay. Put there 360, like this one. 360 here. Okay, so that's fine. Put 360 just to obey it. Okay, so Graz airport. So what we have here in Graz airport? First of all, we start with the basic arrival and approach. So arrival to Graz, we have Rupet point. Okay, so this is the Rupet point. It's all arrivals via Rupet to PB point. And from PB point with this transition. So Graz, we are making, or let's say we are performing the ILS runway 36 center, ILS 36 center, Rupet to Mike via PB to Sierra. Okay, it should be our arrival, and if we scroll down all the procedure, we'll see how it looks like. Okay. That's quite okay, that's quite perfect. It matches completely our conditions. So I am very happy with this situation. So the next thing which I would like to point out, always have situational awareness ring. So 10 nautical miles in order to know that amen, here you have to be at at least on clean configuration, or at least flaps 5 configuration. Okay, so this situation we have pre-selected. Overhead PB point, I would like to have flaps 1, so that means that approximately speed 200 knots. Okay, and it's over there. So that's absolutely perfect. That's great. PB 200, perfect. Okay, that's fine. The next point. It's airport, and as you can see, just for situational awareness, we have high intensity approach light systems with flashing lights. Okay, and we have landing distance available. I guess this is for sure for encountering the landing distance available. So 3000 meters, but no matter how long runway is, for low visibility, at least auto brake 2. Okay, so this is the way how we make it. If we can make it via taxiway Charlie, it's good sign, it's okay, it's perfect. If we are not happy, we can go all the way straight down to taxiway Delta without any further problems. Okay, so that's it. So low visibility procedures, if touchdown falls below 600 and sailing less than low visibility procedures in operations. Okay, some airports have low visibility procedures in force, some airports have low visibility procedures in operation. It doesn't matter. Okay, the pilot shall report the runway vacated. It's yes, but a runway vacated is after you are passing the LVO cut 2, cut 3 approach holding points. Okay, so this we have. So we are going to ILS, and as you can see, we have category 3A. So that means that first of all we put standard category, so that means 1292. It's revert procedure according to our approach ban. We may still continue approach to category 1 minima, hopefully to see the runway if something happens. Okay, so that's why it's good to pre-select it over there, because sometimes it can happen that the fog layer or patches of fog are moving from left to right side, or whatever direction I was meaning, and so it is. So 1292, yes, we have it. Okay, that's perfect. And now we have to pre-select the radio, and that's 50. Okay, I was trying to find a radio here because I'm get used to have it here, but it's it's another option of Boeing. So we have radio 50 over here. Okay, so we'll leave it like it is now. And now ILS courses is 344. Three, four, four. 344, and the frequency is 110.9er. Maybe you'll ask yourself why I'm doing this procedure and why I'm preparing even if we have such a long flight, or let's say why I'm not preparing myself later on, because we have to study everything and every possibility in case of low visibility. Okay, so Graz NDB, it's 290. Put as much information as possible. And for mis approach we are going to Geichenberg, which is 426. Okay, so we have everything pre-selected. Everything is fine. What we need to fill the forecast page as well, so we can do it. So I will close this one, and descend forecast page, and the transition altitude is 10,000. I will put if we look at the chart, Rupert is 9,000 feet, so I will put flight level 120. I don't know what is the QNH right now, but I'm pretty sure that I am on the right side. So let me check the fresh weather conditions in Graz. Okay, we have 1000 to level off. Vertical speed is okay, so that's perfect. Okay, Graz, the weather very improved, so we are no longer we can make it category 1 approach without any further problems, because RVR is 800 meters with no change, so that means that we are good to go. But there is big but. The general visibility is 600 meters. Okay, so it's not so ideal situation. 1012. I will explain it to you. So QNH is 1012. is not the ideal situation because come on, okay, that's it, and we are going to burn only 800 kilograms of fuel, so that means that top of descent should be close enough. Yeah, you can see here is the top of descent, so that's perfect. So that was what I was talking about. Within your peripheral briefing, always check your gray circle distance. Okay, it shows you how much drag miles you have in order to reach your target, or let's say the destination altitude. So in order to where to prepare yourself, because now I'm just right on the flight level, and if I start to prepare now, it will be very late. Okay, so we put there, for example, 200. Okay, for the time being. And why is the situation not pleasant for us? Because if you look at this chart, yeah, well, it's okay. I thought that it was higher category 1 minima, but it's category 1 minima exactly right is depicted over EASA operational procedures, so that means 550, so that's okay. So we are good to go. We can perform the autoland, or we can perform the standard ILS category 1 approach, but in this case if we are close to the RVR, so we have RVR, it's 550 and we have 800 meters, so I will go for a low visibility approach. At least I will tell to the tower that we are performing training category 2-3 approach in order to put the airplanes into the correct holding position in our case. Okay, so that's it. And Okay, so what we can do is in-flight scan. So check all the lights meet our conditions. That's okay, okay, okay. Pressurization, fuel differential pressure and cabin altitude should be according to this table, right depicted over here. So we are currently starting descending as I hear it with the sound. Always check it with this table, okay. No light should be here. Duct pressure, temperature of the cabin, okay, so we can cool down a little bit. It's, you can see it's a little bit too hot. Okay. So we can cool down. The light match our conditions. Brake accumulator pressure is okay. We'll check the flight instruments. Always when it is first flight of the day, we are performing it is called engine monitoring. And this engine monitoring procedure means that we are putting the auto throttle to off position in order not to move the thrust levers, and let the airplane on the constant level flight, and we'll write all the engine instruments parameters like here, and this procedure is valid, or let's say should be done by each flight operator, but especially it's involved when you are applying ETOPS flight to ensure your reliability of the engines. So that's okay. Everything should fine. And we have a little bit low hydraulic fluid quantity on system number A, okay. I guess it is below 67 to illuminate it in some airplanes yellow, in some airplanes white with RF sign, that means a refill sign, okay. But that's okay, so we can switch it like this one. So as you can see, we are approaching the Rupert point, and everything, if you look at the weather, it's more or less low layer clouds, okay, so it's like a cumulus clouds, cumulus mixed with the stratus clouds or something like that. So that means that low visibility procedures will no longer be in force, but now it's in force because it was stated on the chart when the RVR minimum drops below 800 meters, low visibility procedures becomes in force, okay. So in this case, in real life, we should expect from the air traffic controller that the low visibility procedures are in force. So that means that yes, okay, we have to account it with these procedures, but anyway, it's for category 1 approach minimums, so we are perfectly good to go even if we have failure or even if there are ground equipment failure or whatever, so we are okay, we can revert it to category 1 approach and we can still continue to Cat 1 because from category 1 approach we have to perform the manual landing, okay? If you are performing the Cat 2 and 3, you have to perform the autoland. So as you can see, there is now snowy conditions over the Austrian fields. So another point, guys, it's when you are performing the low visibility approach or training approach like this one, because as we depart from Tatri, the conditions was really worse, and there was stated in NOTAMs that RVR is approximately 350, okay, and now it's 800, so and it's strange, but it was downgraded, but now it's upgrading, so okay. Well, a little bit schizophrenic on med reports, but anyway, except the descent checklist, okay, we have to do the low visibility checklist. Okay, so it contains the basic information. For example, the pilot in command is pilot flying, so that means captain is pilot flying and first officer is pilot monitoring. Review the procedures, review what is the approach ban. Once again, check the aircraft is equipped with all equipment it should be on board, so that means that it has, for example, one Viper on operative on pilot flying side, that means on captain side. It has two autopilots working, autopilot flight director system, sorry, and bench of information you would like to perform, and it is in low visibility checklist. Okay, so it doesn't contains the checklist right here, only that you go through the items. When you pick up the checklist from the glare shield and you open the checklist from the behind, you can see that there are some information, for example, what is your let's say reduced wind limitations for contaminated runways. You can see there a list of information, what is your limitations of the engines, what is your ground equipment failures, which should contains LVO, what is your LVO in case of category 3, 2 and category 1 approach. Okay, you have de-icing checklist on the back cover of the checklist. So that's it. There are plenty of information. Real life, the crews in real life has to study it. Okay. Okay, we should turn and we should go to 6500. And now again watch the temperature and look what is the temperature. Check it on Viper, there is nothing here. Okay, so and leading edge device is okay, and we are entering the clouds, so we have to put the engine anti-ice into on position. Okay, so if we have 10,000 feet, so lights coming on. In daylight conditions it doesn't matter which lights are you using, but in nighttime conditions it really matter, and you have to reconsider using high intensity landing light system, because you have reverse situation. Okay, if you don't have the lights, you can see the elements of the runway, but if you have switch on the lights, it could shines and you can see nothing basically. Okay, it's like you are driving the car in the fog. So for the time being I will leave it like now because it's daylight conditions and it's only category 1 approach. Okay, we can go to peel up. Peel up is 3,500. So as we are approaching the PB point, we have then Wagram or Whiskey Golf, I don't know what is it, Whiskey Golf 833 and to Waggle point, and it's 3,500. Okay, so basically nothing special. Airplane start decelerating itself, so it's okay because we have it in VNAV. Maybe you will ask yourself, it's too long, fly all the way, and why cannot make a shortcut? Yes, because the weather is approximately about near about the minimums. Okay, so in this case you have to be stable within 1000 feet about aerodrome elevation. Okay, so and this will remember me what is the airport elevation is 1120. So it's my fault. Okay. Now it's okay. But this landing altitude is part of the descent checklist. So as we don't have the availability like in Zibo mode to have the checklist here, so Yeah, well, okay, as you can see, the 10 nautical miling is right over here, so we have approximately 5 nautical miles. So we can make it flaps 1. The airplane won't decelerate, okay? So I will perform flaps 2, non-standard. Flaps 2 is non-standard. Always, when you're performing something which is not into according to your, for example, if you're flying via FCOM procedures, just call non-standard and put it. Yes, you can do it without any further problems. And always ILS has to be flown by heading select, okay? So heading select, as you have heading select, you have to revert it to the, because heading select and V-now, it's nonsense, okay? So you have to revert it into the level change mode, okay? So we can go 3300, like this one, put the VOR, captured, approach, 344, we have glide slope captured and we can see that what will be our misapproach altitude. In our case, this is a little bit unpleasant situation for me. But anyway, okay. So 5,000 feet, okay? So 5,000 feet will be misapproach altitude. And now we can couple the second autopilot. We can put the flaps 10. We are very close to the red bar, as you can see right now. But we have to somehow stabilize the airplane, okay? We can put gear down, as we are very close. Flaps 15. Okay. Okay, we don't have the speeds. I forget to put it over there. Anyway, that's no problem, not big deal. Okay, flaps 15. Flaps 25. And flaps 40 is 141. One temperature is 8 degrees of centigrade, so do not rely on this scratchpad message and rely always on your current temperature, okay? And now leave everything on the airplane, and on the pilot monitoring side should be approach mode. As I was explaining, I forget to mention to put the the approach speed and reference speed. But it's no problem actually. Just press click twice and that's okay. But always try to put your reference speed when you are prior to top of descent point. It was my fault from my side of view. Okay, as you can see, okay, approach light system inside, so landing.
Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums. 30.
Okay, we are retard, flare. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I am really happy with this situation. It was perfectly nice done. Very good job, PMDG. Without using the reverse thrust, everything was fine. Everything was absolutely perfect. And as you can see, we are vacating via Bravo taxiway, so no problem at all. Non-standard start the APU, switch off the lights, and we can make after landing procedure. Okay. So as I don't see the cut to 3 holding point because this is the intersection, it's a reasonable value, so approximately on this position I will tell runway vacated. Okay. Okay, so APU available, APU on bus, and we can make it with a stand, the first one. So with the stand 1, lights coming off. Okay, we are on place. Do not enter the apron without marshal resistance or visual locking systems available. You are not allowed to do it. So in this case, we don't have the marshallers, so it's okay. So APU is available, APU on bus, so shut down the engines. Okay, so this is okay, it's quite fine. Fasten belts off, and now we can put on the collision lights off. One pump leave for the APU for turnaround. Make it like this one, and that's it. So okay, we can ask for stairs, PX bus, deplane the passengers, and as well the cargo compartment right here. I know this video is a little bit boring for you because there are no special visual effects and everything touching the ground and so on and so on, but it's just a piece of real life operation. So if you have any additional questions regarding to the video, just tell me, and I will let you know. Okay? So, thank you very much for watching from Flughafen Graz.